Hello YouTube, self-proclaimed alien overlord Alien Corbus here, bringing you a update on my ulcerative colitis. As you can tell from my surroundings, I'm in the hospital once again. A couple weeks ago, it was a Wednesday, I woke up and wasn't feeling very good and lost about 6 bags of fluids within a couple hours. I thought it would pass, so I drank some Gatorade, went back to bed, stayed that way for a couple of days. As time flew by, I wasn't getting any better, so that Sunday I ended up just going to the ER because I couldn't take it anymore. In the ER, they gave me 4 bags of fluids. Normally they give you 2, kick you out the door, but this time they gave me 4 and some pain meds. The ER doctor wanted to admit me to the hospital, but he wanted me to go down to my normal hospital, where all the surgeries and stuff was done at. At the time, I just went to the closest ER close to my house, which is like 10 minutes away, instead of making a 2-hour drive to the hospital that has all my surgery stuff. Just because we figured they were just gonna give me fluids and send me home, but he thought I should be admitted. He called my normal hospital, and unfortunately the guy he spoke to wasn't very nice, and decided I wasn't sick enough to be transferred up there. So my wife calls the on-call surgeon, the on-call staff or my surgeon, to find out, to make sure that the ER doctor talked to the right person. Well, when she called, we come to find out that my surgeon now has new residents, and his chief resident was on call because he was out of town. This guy was not a friendly person whatsoever. Proceeded to give my wife the runaround, said I wasn't sick enough, and started laying into her about a bunch of legal issues about transferring from one hospital to another. Now, we know that's utter crap because they've done it before. They've transferred us from one hospital to another many a times, and heck, they've taken me from my house to that other hospital that's 2 hours away. So we ended up going home. The following Tuesday, I had a appointment with my pain manager, and also a CT scan set up by the surgeon. So we go to my pain management appointment to find out that he has a new resident. Now, we knew he was going to have a new resident because his old one moved away. His old one was great, top notch, just great bedside manner, joking. He was awesome, and the pain clinic doctor's great too. Don't get me wrong, but they always make you see the resident first before you actually see the doctors. So I get into the room with this new guy. Got to feel him out. Don't know him yet, so gotta give him a chance. He takes a look at my paperwork, sees how old I am, and says I shouldn't be on this many painkillers, and says that he's going to take me off within 2 weeks, and then leaves the room. Of course, at this point, I'm just a wreck. There's no way I could be off painkillers in 2 weeks with everything that's going on with me. So they stood outside the door and talked in hushed tones for 20 minutes before the pain management doctor and his resident came back in. He must have given him an earful because he didn't speak the whole time. But the pain management doctor said that they were going to leave me on for another month and reevaluate the situation after in a month, and then reevaluate me. But then he noticed the way I looked, and I wasn't looking pretty good, so he made his resident take my vitals right then and there. Immediately after leaving that one, I walked to the other end of the hospital to go to my CT scan, and well, that was a whole lot of fun, because basically I'm gonna, long story short, that one here, because I don't want to go into details about how messed up that was, but it didn't work. It took them a few people just to get an IV in because I was so dehydrated and stuff, and the vein collapsed while doing the IV contrast, and so it burnt, and they didn't get the right scans that they needed, so whatever. I went home. I felt like crap that day, so I must have passed out or fell asleep or something, because the next thing I know, my wife's at home shaking me, trying to wake me up. So so that's a Tuesday. So now we fast forward to the Friday, the end of the week. I have a scheduled appointment with my surgeon, so we head on up there to the other hospital, and we get into our appointment, and of course it's this new chief resident, and he would ask me questions but then would talk over me. He wouldn't listen to my answers. He was short with us. He had no bedside manner, and it was not a good experience. So he pretty much didn't want to help us. So the surgeon came in, and he kind of looked me over, did his stuff, but he went on his recommendation of his residents. So the only thing they did there was they gave me more pain meds and gave me 2 more bags of fluids and sent me home. Well, I had not been able to get out of bed for a week after that because I was still pretty dehydrated. I don't know why, but it knocked me out. Usually, I figured drink some more Gatorade than drink more than I normally do, and I'll probably get back on my feet, but no, nothing. So, last night, Sunday night, I was feeling good Friday and Saturday. Saturday I started to feel just a little bit ill, but I thought maybe it was something I ate. So, Sunday comes around, and I'm feeling even worse. And about 5 o'clock, I'm getting really nauseous. And I look down, and I noticed I got a full bag full of liquid again. I didn't think anything of it, so I emptied it out. I proceeded then to lose 10 bags of fluids, one right after another, right after another. I mean, they were full bags of liquids. So my wife ended up calling the 911 to get an ambulance because she didn't feel safe driving me. The EMT wasn't very friendly. He kind of gave us the runaround about making sure we went to the closest hospital. And, I can understand that, but like I said, it's not the first time that they've taken me to the other hospital. But it's whatever, not a big deal. So they take me to the ER, and that was the worst ambulance ride I had ever had because I was in so much pain. And it wasn't just my normal pain for my abdomen, and it wasn't just my normal dehydration pain. My whole stomach was on fire for some reason. It was bloated. I was actually burping, which is something I never do. Of course, I don't pass gas hardly at all. Well, I don't have a colon or anything, so it was the most horrible experience. And I am just, by the time I reached the hospital, I am dripping from head to toe in sweat. So we're down in the ER, the closest, hospital to my house, and the nurse comes in, and she was great. She was awesome. She tries to put an IV in twice. Couldn't do it. Called another nurse. She tried to put an IV in twice. Couldn't do it. Called the third nurse. Tried to put an IV in. Couldn't do it. Finally, they had to call someone special. And that person on the second try just jabbed it into the knock of my elbow. I don't know if you can see it that well, but it's pretty red there. It's from where it was. We got rid of it today because it was being a nuisance, but anyway, that's beside the point. So they proceeded to give me pain meds and 3 bags of fluids, and then finally they're like, yeah, this isn't doing anything, and all this time I'm still losing bags of fluid after bags of fluid after bags of fluid. Now normally when I get dehydrated like this, I lose maybe 6 to 10 bags of fluids within a couple hours. Go to the ER, get 3 bags of fluids, 2 to 3 bags of fluids, and go home. Day's rest, I'm back on my feet. But it's just continuously going and going and going, and man, I just emptied it, the bag, not too long ago, probably about 15 minutes ago, and it's, already filling back up. And so at this point, by the time I hit the ER, I had emptied my bag 10 times since 5 o'clock, and it's now 9 o'clock when I get to the ER. As soon as I hit the ER, I had to empty it again because that car ride, or the ambulance ride there, the bag was fuller than full. And so they proceed to give me, like I said, 3 bags of fluids and pain meds. And during that time, I must have emptied the bag probably about 6 more times. All in all, yesterday, I probably, since 5 o'clock till about 2 a.m., I probably emptied my bag 20 times from home in the ER. And finally, somebody comes in and they decide that this isn't working for me, and they're just going to admit me. Now, this is the first time I've ever been admitted to the hospital closest to my house, so it's beautiful. I love it. The staff's been great, and the hospital rooms are private and huge and great. But as it sits right now, I'm on continuous fluids and pain management, PCA thing where I push the button and it gives me the painkillers, but I haven't been using it that much, honestly, because I don't like using painkillers in the first place. So I don't, it's just something I don't like. So so they're continuously pumping me full of fluid, and it's just, my bag's still just emptying out, and it's never done this before, so I'm in a pretty bad shape at the moment. So on the 16th here, unless they transfer me up to the hospital, the other hospital, within the next couple of days. Today is a holiday after all. On the 16th, I have a procedure up at the other hospital, and the surgeon's going to go in and look and see how the J pouch is doing, and then and then while I'm knocked out, he's going to try to do that CT scan that got messed up. So we will see how that goes, I guess. So that is the kind of update on how things are going on now. Up until that Wednesday when I lost that fluid, things have been going pretty good. Actually, I was getting out of bed, playing video games with my friend at the time named Venge, and I would be out of bed every day. We would just be doing everything together, but started to get sicker, couldn't really play anymore, so couldn't do that anymore. But I was playing games, I was getting out of bed every day, I was walking the dog, which was kind of my goal. And I mean, they weren't long trips, but they were walking the dog nonetheless. So I was doing a lot, and I was happy until I lost that bag of fluids, and I haven't been able to recover since. So anyway, thanks all for watching, and if they do transfer me up to the other hospital, or if I get more information that I feel I need to send out to my viewers out there, because they're probably wondering why there's been a lack of videos lately. So I'm trying the best I can. I'm just been so sick, drowning in debt from all the medical bills and stuff, and it's just been one hiccup after another. So I have some videos of some new games that I tried recorded when I was feeling a little bit better. One of them is called Trove, which is a voxel game, and it's free to play. It's on Steam right now. And the other one is called Sky Saga, which is a voxel game as well, and it is beautiful. The graphics on it are amazing, and it's in alpha, but you just have to go to their website and sign up for it. As long as you're in their demographic area where they're doing testing, then you'll likely get in within the next day or so. Anyway, thanks all for watching, and like I said, if I have any more updates, I will let you all know. Take care, and remember to look up at the skies, or look down at your pants, because I might have abducted them. We'll see you next time. Bye.